Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 1025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by E. providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi, you guys. Happy, wonderful Wellness Wednesday. Great afternoon. And for those that are new, welcome. To those that are returning, hey family, it's your girl, and welcome to the Uterus Bar. How are you guys feeling out there on this amazing, wonderful Wellness Wednesday? I hope great, because I am. And guess what I'm sipping on? You guessed it. The tea is always 10, and you can always catch me sipping on Let Lymph Flow Lymphatic Tea, and you can get that, yes, at 208lymphatics.com. Last week, we had a special guest by the name of Chris Rogers, and she was able to share with us about her hysterectomy story, her journey. So this week, she is 4 weeks post-op. So we are still sending her healing prayers, virtual hugs, or air hugs like I like to call them. But that story was very interesting. So for those of you that did not catch it, please go back and watch the actual interview, because that was really, 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 really good. It gave us some insight, and then also it's making us aware of things that we need to ask our providers. And sometimes we get nervous, but always have a pen or paper and a notepad in hand before, and have your questions together, especially before you have any type of surgery. Questions that need to be answered, okay? So make sure, and if you don't feel comfortable, go with a second or third opinion. Now, I did want to go over a couple things, and this goes in with vitamin D. We talked about vitamin D, being vitamin D deficient. And this was a couple episodes, and I wanted to bring this back because I want to share with you guys a couple of things. So first of all, vitamin D is really good for bone health, your immune health, and just your overall health, right? But when you are vitamin D deficient, like a lot of Black women, we are vitamin D deficient. We need some type of supplement, whether it's in our nutrients, the things that we eat, or some type of supplement that's going to help us get the vitamin D that we need. So here are 10 high foods, 10 foods that are high, you guys, in vitamin D. So I'm going to break this down. So number 1, eggs. So studies are showing if you have 2 eggs, that contains 87 IU. So what that means is you're going to get 87 IUs in your system. And eggs are high quality protein, okay? High in protein. So eat your eggs. Number 2, 1 cup of milk. Studies are showing that 125 IUs, and that milk is high in calcium and protein. Okay. Salmon is 441 IUs, and that is really good with omega-3 fatty acids, and also salmon supports, your heart health. Okay. So that's really good too. Now, number 4. So I thought this was very interesting. So 100 grams of mushrooms that are exposed to so the rays, the UV rays, is equal up to 400 to 1,000 IUs. And some of the exposed mushrooms can have even an even higher level of vitamin D. Number, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beef liver, 49. So they're saying 49 of IUs is with beef liver. And beef liver is really good. It's high in iron and vitamin A, you guys. Moving right along, 100 grams of tuna. That will give you 227 of IUs. Now, they're saying tuna is really good in protein, and it also is essential amino acids that will help along the way too. The next one is 1 cup of yogurt will produce anywhere from 80 to 130 IUs. And it also depends on the brand of yogurt as well, you guys. The next one is 1 tablespoon of, cod liver oil. And that will give you 1,360 IUs. And cod liver, you guys, is really good with omega-3 fatty acids. And it also helps with vitamin A. The next one is mackerel, the fish. 100 grams of that will give you 643 IUs. And that's also high in omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin A. And last but not least, a cup of orange juice will give you 100 to 140 IUs. And it also varies by brand. Okay. I said a mouthful with that, and I'm going to go ahead and have some of, you guessed it, Let Lymph Flow Lymphatic Tea. You guys, that tea is teaing, and yes, you can get that from 208lymphatics.com. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about the recommended daily vitamin D intake. And it does vary. It varies by age, gender, and the life stage. So this is as follows. Infants 0 to 12 months need 400 IUs. Okay. And that will give you approximately 10 micrograms. Children from ages 1 to 18 years of age, 600 IUs, and that will give you 15 micrograms. Adults between 19 to 70 years old, 600 IUs, and that's going to give you 15 micrograms. And adults are over 70 years of age, 800 IUs, and that's going to give you 20 micrograms. Now, women that are pregnant and breastfeeding, 600 IUs, and that will give you 15 micrograms. Now, some may say, well, what if I have a health issue? Yes, you will. If you do have a health issue, then your provider may request for you to have a larger dose, okay, of vitamin D. But these recommendations are based on age, gender, and life stage of someone that may be don't have the different type of illnesses or any other health conditions. Okay, so with that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys. Oh, and one more thing. This is also based off of conditions of those that also have limited sun exposure too. Okay. Now, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Let's talk about it. So there is two different things. So with vitamin D2 is more of plant-based, and vitamin 3 is more of they like to call it man-made, okay? Or it comes from animals, so to speak. And this is according to the Harvard Health. So based off of that, vitamin D2, like we said, is made from plants. Vitamin D3 comes from animals. And when we break that down, vitamin D3, it says more so it's coming from sun, and it's called cholecalciferol. And vitamin D2 is coming from mushrooms. Okay. And it says ergocalciferol. And so with the vitamin D2, you guys, which is plant-based, they're saying it's lichen. It's coming from algae and fungus. And the vitamin D3, lanolin. So they're saying it's from that oil from sheep's wool. So it's very interesting how different supplements are actually made. Now, a study this is according to Harvard Health, a study that was done, this data, meta-analysis, this was randomized, control trials. And they're saying that there was a study that was taken with vitamin D3, and it raised the blood consumption levels, and it sustained longer in your system. And that was vitamin D3. Now, both of them, they come in different dosaging. However, they're both vitamin D3 and vitamin D2 absorb well in the gut. Okay, so I was like, wow, that's very interesting, because when you go to like whether it's the health food stores or you just go to regular Walmart or CVS, it could be very confusing because you're trying to figure out, okay, which supplement should I take? Which one is right for me? And so my best suggestion would be, honestly, to consult with your physician to see if you have a vitamin D deficiency. Are you vitamin D deficient? And if you are, okay, why am I vitamin D deficient? Have that conversation with your provider and see which one is the best. Now, you got to also remember that everyone do not eat things that come from animals. So maybe, you maybe want to say, hey, you know what? I'll opt out on the vitamin D3 and go with the vitamin D2 because it's more plant-based. Okay. So have your consultation with your provider, but also, have your concerns, have them written down so you know what is the best option for you. And listen, we just went through this whole 10 list of, increasing your vitamin D with eggs, milk, they said salmon, UV exposed mushrooms, beef liver, tuna. We talked about having a cup of yogurt, cod liver oil, mackerel, and a cup of orange juice. I know none of that probably sounds like the very best, like, okay, yeah, Artisha, I'll just take a supplement and call it a day. But these are different foods that we eat that can also, help us, with our vitamin D deficiency. And again, yes, being outside in the sun can assist with that. But if you have this beautiful melanin skin coating like I do, guess what? It's protecting us from the UV rays, and you're going to need something extra to be able to help you along the way. Okay, so make sure you go and you talk over with your physician, and so then therefore they can give you the very best answer, and then you come with your questions and come ready and prepared. So then therefore you're no longer vitamin D deficient. And we talked about vitamin D deficiency. What does that do? It can increase your chances of having fibroids. Okay. So this is why we're talking about this. It's so important. Okay. Now, speaking of fibroids and all that kind of good jazz, guess what? It was a beautiful lady that commented on one of the YouTube posts. So it was a video that was posted up, and of course I had a chance. I looked, I said, oh my gosh, wait a minute. I want to make sure that I reach out to and respond to those that comment, because I'm very thankful for you amazing listeners and your amazing viewers that are out there and tuning in. Now, this what was sent to us, and it was sent by the Queen of Thorns 4053. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And she stated that she had a vaginal hysterectomy. Okay, and this was 3 weeks ago that she posted on under the uterus bar, and this was on YouTube. I had a vaginal hysterectomy 6 weeks ago, and I'm still in pain. 3 weeks after my surgery, I was taken to the ER because I was passing kidney stones. And this journey has been a living hell. Oh my gosh. You guys, let's get into it. So I was like, wait, what? Passing kidney stones? And I've never passed kidney stones. Oh my gosh. And I heard it is worse than having childbirth or being in labor. And I was like, let me actually do some research. Let me see what's really going on with this. And guess what? It is true. After having a hysterectomy, you are now you have an increased risk of having passing kidney stones. And I thought that was like, wait a minute here, this is crazy. So let's get into it, and let's talk about what are kidney stones. So kidney stones are also known as renal colic, and they are very common. Okay. And they're more common in men than they are women. And I wanted to break down to you guys that our urethra is very small. It's about 4 centimeters or 4 centimeters, and in men is longer. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's about 26 inches. Okay. We're not talking about the width and size. We're just talking about the actual urethra. Okay. Now, what it is it's a hard deposit of mineral and salts that are inside of our kidneys. And it can grow over time, and eventually they break down and they get stuck of the uterine tube from the kidneys to the bladder. And now, you guys, all hell breaks loose with this, okay? Because when it's blocked, now it's causing excruciating pain. And I remember working when I lived in Georgia. And I remember working in a hospital, and I just remember this guy coming in, and he was just yelling and in so much pain, and I really didn't understand it. And can you imagine these crystal-like stones coming? No, it's not coming out their butt. It's coming out through their, you guessed it, their penis. It's coming out. And it's just a mess. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And sometimes they can pass on their own and break up on their own. And that's why they said, please make sure that you drink a lot of water. This is what, the physicians will tell you. But sometimes they're so big to where they can't pass on their own. And when this happens, you'll usually get a CT scan. You may get an MRI or ultrasound. And with that being said, if that is the route that you have to go in, what happens is they perform shockwave therapy, or they'll do a scope where it's a uteroscopy procedure with laser lipotrophy. But they need to make sure before they do that, they need to see where the actual kidney stones are on the x-ray. So I did find that out. All right. Now, there also have been stories where women have been in labor And while they're in labor, you guys, yes, you guessed it, the kidney stones are coming, they're passing right along with this. Could you imagine that? Like I said, this is new to me in terms of after having a hysterectomy and now you have to go back in because you have kidney stones. I cannot imagine that. But yes, I am a hysterectomy survivor, and that is something that I need to make sure I am looking out for. And here are risks for kidney stones. So 1 in 10 people during their lifetime will pass a kidney stone. And we talked about it. Yes, men are more prone than women. However, not all people with risk factors will develop kidney stones, and some without risk factors can still get them. If you have a family history, yes, if you have a family history, you can develop kidney stones. And I thought this was very interesting. A high protein diet, having too much protein, studies are saying that you can develop having a kidney stone. And this is, they said the number one thing is being dehydrated. How many of you guys that just don't drink water, you're not flushing out, you're just walking around and you're dehydrated? That's bad. So make sure that you are drinking water, make sure you're flushing out. And I got something for you. Let's get the toxins out your system, okay? With your Let Lymph Flow Lymphatic Tea, where you can purchase that on 208lymphatics.com. But you definitely need water. That is so important. You definitely need water. Now, another thing I want to talk about with that, so they talked about the pain. So the pain is caused by obstruction, and it blocks the flow of urine from the kidneys to the bladder. And this can lead to a buildup of pressure in the kidney. Not only can it cause pain, but you guys listen, it can also cause an infection that can be fatal. So usually when you know you have some type of kidney issues, you'll start to feel like your back pain. You'll start to feel like, oh my gosh, something is going on there. When it's time to go ahead and void, which we're talking about the urine coming out, guess what? When you're trying to sit on that toilet, oh my gosh, pain. Okay. Sometimes like a burning sensation. We're not talking about an STI. We're talking about a urinary tract infection. And so you'll want to go ahead and use the restroom all the time, but you'll only have a little bit of drips coming down. So that's really, important to know, like, oh my gosh, something is going on. Cranberry is really good for that. Another thing, they call it D-mannose. What that does, it takes away like the bacteria. The bacteria is almost like a magnet when you actually take that particular supplement. So I did notice after having a actual hysterectomy is like, oh my gosh, wait, what's going on with my kidneys? Something is not right. So that's why I'm constantly drinking water. And I'm always constantly talking about the importance of also your lymphatic system being able to flush these toxins out your system is very, very important. So, so I know I just said a mouthful, you guys, but that is, truly real. And for those that are experiencing or have gone through having a hysterectomy, or again, you are not sure if a hysterectomy is right for you, or you're experiencing the chronic pelvic pain, you are experiencing abnormal bleeding, fibroids, ovarian uterine cysts, and all that kind of stuff. This guide is really, really going to help you, the Uterus book, okay, the Uterus bar. And you can also get that on 208 lymphatics, .com. And I'm telling you, give the gift that keeps on cleansing and the gift of more knowledge. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about what's happening with passing these kidney stones as it relates to having a hysterectomy. And we're going to do some more talking. All right. See you guys soon.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
To choose on these big moves, she chose on me. No duck goose, meditation to the mind while I'm making moves. Tunnel vision to the grind. No, I will not lose, and I'ma put you on. Stay to myself and I'ma be in my zone. Baby, what do you want? She wanna ride my wave and I'ma play it safe. Can we be on go? Hustle and flow. Gotta keep my mind clear, gotta stay away from stress. If we dress to impress, you can hop in my ride. Understand where we at, we gotta stay on track and hold each other's back. You just hop on my wave, we'll be okay. You are the question and I am the answer. With you my baby, my heart beats faster. I'm just here to change your life. You're as sharp as a knife. Smoking spinach with my olive oil. Yeah, I planted the seed in the soil. But what did I plant to be raw? We gotta stay healthy. No, we can't get spoiled. We are the truth and there are no rules. You a ruby, baby, you're a jewel. And I know love is easy, yeah. I need you to believe me, yeah. I knew you was gonna be my girl. Let me take you away from this world.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hey, you guys, and we are back. For those that are just now watching, welcome. We were talking about vitamin D2 versus vitamin D3. And you know what I didn't mention? Make sure when you do take your vitamin D, make sure you pair that with the lovely magnesium for better absorption. And I like to take my vitamin D with magnesium at nighttime. So I just don't want to have an upset stomach. So I really just take it at nighttime and I just sleep and everything is just leveled on. The levels are leveling. And we just left off. We were talking about after having a hysterectomy, the increased risk of you passing kidney stones. Now, what I wanted to tell you guys is, did you know that having sex can actually, they say, having sex can actually help with passing kidney stones? And I was like, really? I wonder how is that? But I guess, having sex, the release, you think about maybe it helps with pressure. But I don't know. I don't know if that's something I would want to do. But when you're in pain, you'll try anything. So that's just something to look into. Now, I wanted to talk about another sensitive topic for a lot of women that are out there going through. And a lot of providers will have women going the route of either removal of your ovaries and or having a hysterectomy. And so this is why it's really important to do your research and make sure that this is best for you. And we're talking about ovarian cyst. Okay. And so what this is fluid-filled sac that develops in or on the ovary. And it does cause pain. Okay. It can get in the way of fertility, and they can rupture. Okay. So ovarian cysts are very common, and they say that it's usually harmless, and most go away on their own. Okay. But sometimes they don't go away on your own. And so when you ask you go in to see your provider, your OB, they may say, hey, you know what, let's do an ultrasound, or let's have you go do an MRI or whatnot. And then they'll see what the size is. And you guys, they can grow rapidly. Okay. They can definitely grow rapidly, but these are the symptoms. So most ovarian cysts don't cause symptoms, but some may cause bloating, lower abdominal pain, or lower back pain. And other symptoms include aching or sudden sharp belly pain, nausea, vomiting, or loss of appetite. Sometimes it can cause dizziness when standing up, changes in the timing of your menstrual, weight gain, pain during or after sex, changes with your bowel movements, and urinating more often. So if you know of someone that is going through or have gone through this, give them a hug. A lot of women, we are walking around, like we talked about before, in silence and just moving on with life and expecting to just be just strong all the time. But check on your strong friends. They need you too. Okay, they definitely need you too. So some of the treatments are functional cysts often go away on their own within 8 to 12 weeks and don't usually require treatment. Okay, but if you have frequent ovarian cysts, your provider may prescribe birth control pills. So this is where birth control or hormones may help with this. Okay, surgery may be needed to remove the cyst or ovary if it's complex. Okay, causing symptoms increasing in size, or if you're near or past menopause. And here's complications. A cyst can cause severe pain if it breaks open or twists the ovary. And this is called ovarian torsion, and can prevent blood loss or blood flow, to the ovary, which can kill the tissue. Again, you guys, like I said, women, we are out here really going through it. We really are. And it was a couple, I researched berries that can actually, help with this, but also with your wound health. Okay. Just wound health in general. And strawberries were really good for it. Blueberries, raspberries, can actually, help with this. It's going to help. They talked about with shrinking fibroids, but it's also going to help with ovarian cysts. Also, they said, what is it called? Ashwagandha is another herb that can actually, help with this as well. And you guys, apple cider vinegar can also help with this as well. So there's so many different things that are out there. And I want you guys, again, to do your research. But when you're going through this, I always say there is light and hope at the end of the tunnel. And for those, again, that are sisters that are going through that, we want to share space with them and, just let them know that they are definitely in our thoughts, in our prayers. But I wanted to talk about that. I was like, you know what? We don't talk about that either. And coming up, it's more things that women that we are, common things that we're going through that I want to dig a little bit deeper and bring to the forefront because, like I said, I'm your advocate. I am the storyteller and the information giver. And information is free. Information is free, and I'm going to definitely share with that. Okay. I also wanted to go over really quick different foods to avoid, you guys, after having a hysterectomy as well. I know I'm jumping from one place to another, but it's all under our hood, the uterus bar. So, and this is in the actual book. Okay. Sweets. We talked about that. Foods such as pastries, cakes, and other sugary foods must be avoided as they are likely to cause acidity and bloating, which would ultimately put pressure on your incisions and hamper the healing process. So even you just think about what I just said, even with fibroids, we talked about that, even with ovarian cysts, it's still the same thing. Processed foods are the ones that are not in their raw or primary cooked form. For example, a whole orange is a whole food, whereas orange juice is processed food. Whole food will be a great source of fiber than processed ones, okay? Milk and dairy products in excess, if not consumed in moderation, you guys, such as products might cause a problem with clearing your bowels. Cheese. Cheese might be a nightmare for people who are lactose intolerant, but you still think about things that's being processed and how it's breaking down. And we talk about meat. We talked about that before. Meat is known to have high saturated fats, which causes constipation, and it should be strictly avoided after surgery and during the healing phase. So with that being said, I know I said a mouthful, tongue twister. You guys, just think about your health. Think about getting rid of these different toxins out of our body. We think about, let's go back just really quickly to the lymphatic system and how it's just really just a trash can. And I always tell people, I don't know about you, but trash day, you guys, for me at my house is every Tuesday. And I think about what's inside of the trash, and I think about in that trash bin, and I think about, hey, you know, making sure you are hosing that trash can down, getting all that in, because you think about it just like your body. If you're not clearing that out properly and you're just stuffing things right back into the trash compactor, which is our body, think about the residue. Think about all of that is just sitting around and what's breeding on that. And how can ovarian cysts be impacted by that? How can fibroids be impacted by that? How can the abnormal bleeding, your womb health, be impacted by that? So I want you to just think about that, and how are you going to help your womb? Okay. And you guys, on that note, we are going to end it there. I want you guys to make sure you are taking care of your body. Let Flow Lymphatic Tea. And also, the more knowledge you have, the more power, and the more you know what you need to do to help yourself heal. You guys have a beautiful, blessed Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging with your girl. And again, if you have any questions at all, you can email me at the Uterus Bar at hot7025fm.com. Again, no question is a dumb question. I would love to answer all your questions. And again, you can find me next Wednesday on the hottest, I'm going to say it 2 more times, on the hottest radio station in Viva Las Vegas, Hot 702.5 FM. Bye.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 702.5fm.com.